person who doesn't understand that you don't camp in the left lane or the leftmost lanes. You know what I mean? So now the rest of us gotta jump through hoops to get around the idiot. Anyway, it is a really cold and actually really windy day in February 2026. We've had below freezing temperatures for, that's about 2 weeks now, since the storm in January. And about time to get out and do something, right? So I'm taking a drive to Nissley Vineyard, which is not quite central PA. It's like in between Hershey and Lancaster. They make a wine that I like that's only available this time of year, and I figured I'd take the local way just to see how spicy it is out here. Philly's been nuts. You've probably seen videos, people getting plowed in and stuff like that, and I was kind of interested in how the other side lived, if you will. So I'm not expecting much. I think it'll be a quiet drive, although just did get a little spicy there, right? But yeah, we'll see. Might be spicy, might be not, but we'll see. So anything interesting happens, I'll come back. dead deer on the road I've seen today. this is indeed Amish country out here. Bet some of y'all didn't think that was real. Horses and buggies still on the roads. It's only TV shows. Nope. That is very real out here. Surprised at how clear these roads are out here. You know, it's been a couple of days since the storm, but I'm actually still pretty surprised. All right, here we are. And in case you're wondering, this is a winery, so yes, what you see to the right and to the left are grapevines. back in this time since I've got to put the wine in here, but I am going to, let's see, offset a little bit. Yeah, this way. Now we can still swing it open. Okay. All right. I will be back. Ooh, sun. The winery is, all right, so that was Nissley. Pretty cool spot. Been here a couple of times, and it's like most wineries, it's one of those places that they have a tasting room there, and you can do samples and things like that. The thing I like about this vineyard is that they have live music every Saturday, and during the warmer months they have that music outside, so you can, regardless of the music, it's not necessarily stuff I'm into, but you know, it's that whole, it's a vibe thing, right? So you get some wine, you can bring some cheese with you or whatever, you know, but you get the wine from them, and you can sit outside, you know, surrounded by the vineyard, right? And you know, maybe you like the music, maybe you don't, but you bring a couple people with you, and you know, it's a whole vibe. So, you know, it's a cool spot, since not all wine tasting facilities actually have that sort of experience. If you, whoops, wow, I was going too fast. If you, what was I saying? Right, so if you live in a state that has vineyards and wineries and all that, it's something I recommend doing. It's kind of cool. It's not something that everybody does. I know it can even sound a little bit pretentious or whatever, but so what? It's good to try different things out, and like I said, it's a whole vibe. So it's something you could do. It's like, you know, it's not something, even if I live close to here, I do all the time, but it's certainly something that I would do every now and again, especially for a wine brand that I like. But anyway, I am off to Tröegs now, which is in Hershey. It's about 30 minutes away. It's actually down the block from the Hershey Hotel, and if you've never stayed there, especially at their cottages, that's an interesting experience as well. But I don't think this driving will be spicy, as I was saying, so I'll come back once I get to Tröegs, and if anything else happens, I'll try to catch it. All right, here we go. Seem to have this uncanny ability to catch trains, which is great for me since I love trains. Get some views of the Hershey amusement park. also the zoo. There's a tram we're going to go under that will take you from the amusement park to the zoo. So I think you can do like a combined ticket to do both. But you can just go to the zoo by itself as well. This is sort of a main artery. This is 422 that we're crossing here, and it's the I guess it's sort of like downtown Hershey, if you will. There's a couple of restaurants to the left here along this strip. Pretty good restaurants, actually. But yeah, it's obviously it's not a downtown, like a city downtown, but it's the main strip, if you will. And here's this tram I was telling you about. The zoo is to the right, and the Hershey amusement park, as you can see, is to the left. So like I was saying, got the Hershey Hotel here on this strip. It's not in view of the camera, but it's to the left. Along with the school. Some of you guys might not know this, but Milton Hershey, he set up a school in this area. So when you're coming sort of the main way in, you go through the school campus. It's absolutely beautiful campus. It's like a college campus, right? So if you look up his story, and actually in that downtown main strip I was just talking about, there's a Hershey museum there. It's an interesting story. He's obviously Hershey chocolate, but before he did chocolate, he did caramel. And like I said, he put a lot of money into education, so he's pretty well known in terms of that. When you look at the things around here, you're going to see a lot of things that have to do with education, which is pretty cool, because not something that he was known for. All right, and here's Tröegs. So I got my wine. Now it's time to get my beer. And if you like doing beer tastings instead of wine tastings, you can see from this parking lot, this place is packed. So they do sandwiches here. They do have some food. It's not a huge selection, because obviously it's about the beer. But you can do like a beef and beer thing, I think, here. But yeah, this place is, I don't think I've ever been here when this place hasn't been packed. So we'll try to park pretty close, because a case of beer is heavier than a case of wine. All right, here we go. thanks for coming along. All goals achieved for me. Got my beer, got my wine. Games tomorrow, and had a nice winter drive on a very definite winter February day. So if you stuck around this long, thank you. And yeah, it's not always about the off-road. It's sometimes just about getting out and doing something with your vehicle. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Amazing view right now. Sunset to the west. Not being picked up on camera, really. It's beautiful.